Squad Show, we like to highlight and make mention of extra special athletes all around Arizona. We want to give players from all schools, big or small, an opportunity to be seen in front of you. If you know an athlete that deserves this recognition, make sure to contact hyfntv so we can cover them and put them in the spotlight. Now keep in mind, what athletes do in the field is important to this award and this attention, but we also care about how they do in the classroom. How a student performs in the classroom is as important or more important than how they play in their sport. So make sure to keep those grades up, keep putting up those great numbers so we can shout you out. Now first, we will talk about an athlete, Christian Sanabria from Camp Verde High School. Now Christian is currently one of the top receivers in Arizona. Through 4 games, Christian has racked up 813 receiving yards on only 42 receptions. That's an average of 19 yards a catch and over 200 a game. Now 13 out of those 42 receptions went for touchdowns. And if that wasn't enough, he also plays defense and has 2 interceptions. Now some crazy stats so far this season. He is first in receiving yards, first in total touchdowns, and first in total points scored with 78. And he is tied for 29th in interceptions with his 2 interceptions. Now I had a chance to get to know Christian a little bit and learn about his previous football journey in the youth sports, and he started playing football at the age of 5. And since a young age, both of his parents have been his role models. They always pushed him to be the very best version of himself that he could, and at 11 years old, he was able to win the state championship on his youth football team. And this was a lasting memory that was very special to him at such a young age, and it's still a very, very good memory for him. Now, as a junior, these memories and experience have propelled him to be the top receiver in the state. Now, Daniel, tell us about our second athlete.
All right, next we're talking about Daxon Hall, the running back for Higley High School, a school in the 5A division that is 3-0 this season so far and ranks 20th in the overall state rankings. Daxon is averaging 154.3 rushing yards per game, accumulated 463 total yards in 39 carries. He also has 13 receptions for 159 yards. It's about 12.2 yards per catch. And just to put a cherry on top, he has a 53-yard kick return this season as well. Now in the last game, he scored 5 touchdowns, had 224 yards off 12 carries in a win against Sunny Slope. The final score was 57-35, and Daxon had a lot to do with that. Due to the fantastic performance, he was a winner of the Ed Doherty Medallion, which is given to a few of the top athletes of the week, an honor presented by Gridiron Arizona. Now Higley High School is going to be playing Casa Grande in their next matchup, so we'll see if he can continue playing at the level he portrayed last week.
That's impressive. Yeah. You said 224 on 12 carries in the last game.
5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns. They won 57 to, you said 35?
Yeah.
That's a blowout win.
Blowout.
57 points scored is just, that's amazing. Now, Landon, have you ever seen a performance like that? On only 12 carries?
I've not really, honestly. I mean, I've seen maybe like, not really, honestly.
That's a lot.
That's
lot
crazy.
That is crazy. That's mind-boggling. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of yards.
Now, going to Christian, top receiver in the state right now. I think we could say that I can say that with confidence. Obviously, he's first in receiving yards. He only has 42 receptions, which is, I mean, he can't throw the ball to himself. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he has 800 yards with 42 receptions, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's insane.
13 touchdowns. That leads the AIA, and 78 total points. So what are your guys' thoughts on that and him being honestly just the top receiver in the state?
I think that's crazy. 800 yards in that many games and with only 42 receptions. That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't process that when you if you go to Max Preps or something like that and you just look at his stats.
Those numbers stand out.
Yeah.
From Camp Verde High School, out of all high schools, that's where he's getting that production. And I stated he started playing at 5, and he was a national champion in youth sports at 11. So since 5 to 11, now he's in high school, he's a junior. He's been playing football a long time. So do you think that maybe just his longevity just in football in general has helped him be the top receiver he is?
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like if you just start to play football, if you get like in high school or something like that, you're not really gonna know all the like basics or anything like that. But when you start at a young age, you learn all those basics at a young age, and then you can perfect your craft while going along.
Yeah.
Getting older and older.
What are your thoughts, Daniel?
Yeah, that's definitely helped him a lot. Since age 5, he's been putting in the work to be, even winning a state championship in youth football. That means he was already part of a team that was playing at a high level.
Certainly.
So that's got to set him up very nice for high school and to be putting up performances like this.
Right. And then I stated his parents were his role models. I think that's very important that your parents, they said they pushed him to always be the best version of himself, and certainly he's that best version right now, putting up 800 yards so far in only 4 games. I said 200 yards a game, 200. 100 yards a game, honestly, in high school is impressive for a receiver because sometimes we see these performances where, maybe he gets 60 yards a game and then one game he'll get 250, which is amazing, but he's putting it up every game. It's not like a one-game thing where, we're talking about him for 1 week. This is a kid we could talk about every single week just because he's been so great. 13 touchdowns on 42 receptions, so he's a red zone threat. If I'm a defense going against this guy, I'm double guarding him, but maybe triple.
Keeping some extra coverage on him for sure, man.
I'll risk allowing maybe one of the other receivers to be wide open to let this kid get open because 800 yards is no joke. If he's catching that ball, he's either going to be in the end zone or headed to the end zone, just looking at the stats and what he's been able to do. So, obviously we're only 4 games into the season for them at least. What do you guys think his stats will be at the end?
Well, games in.
Well, if he has 804 games, averaging 200, he has 6 games left.
He might be at 2,000.
So
imagine that.
That'd be crazy, man. 2,000 yards.
And I think we can say that with confidence, saying he might reach that number because 200 yards a game. It's not, like I said, he hasn't just had one really, really good game or just a couple good games. Every game he's having this production. So if his quarterback continues to give him the ball, if the defense continues just to not be able to guard him, I think he's only listed as 6'1". So it's not like he's some freak of nature, 6'6" athlete that's just mossing everybody. He's just good. He's fast, he can cut good, he has good hands, he's reliable. So 2,000 yards isn't crazy to say. And 13 touchdowns in 4 games. He could be at 30 by the end of the season. He could break every record possible. In any division. I think that's looking forward to that. And then going back to Daxton Hall, Daxton Hall. What are his projected stats, you think?
He's averaging over 150 yards a game.
Yeah, it's impressive.
He's even getting some receiving yards. Man, this guy.
The kick return too?
Yeah, kick return. He's actually only had 2 kick returns in the season. I think he should have a little more because one of them was over 50 yards.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw him out there.
He reminds me of kind of Tyreek Hill. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can return the ball.
He's fast.
He can score any way possible. He's fast. Yeah, a lot's going for him. Certainly he's probably a flex player in that offense. Put him anywhere. Maybe we'll even see him throw the ball this year. Who knows?
That wouldn't be surprising if he got some passing yards in there too.
He's obviously deadly with the ball. So anyway, whatever he's doing with that offense, it'll probably be successful. What do you think about Atlanta?
You're really an all-around threat when you can receive, you can run. That's a unit right there.
Yeah.
And if he's quick, you got to get low on him. He'll probably just hop over you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because 150 rush yards a game. He's gonna be a rush leader this year for sure.
Oh yeah.
And receiving wise, it's still great that he's a running back getting that many receiving yards a game.
Yeah, that just means his quarterbacks, I mean, maybe screen plays, maybe he's that third guy that the check down route. But regardless, he's getting those catches, getting those yards. Like you said, a 53-yard kick return, they need to put him on special teams. That's what it sounds like. I mean, if you get one kick return this early on in the season, if I'm a coach, hey, I need you to put you on the return team. Because, I mean, if you can do it once, who says you can't do it again? So I'm excited to see both of these athletes, both Christian and Daxon, and see what they can do later on in the year. And I hope they can break some records, personally. I think they both can. This early in the season to have those numbers.
Yeah, they're on their way.
They're on their way. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before we go on, colleges. You know, Christian's a junior. How was Daxon?
Junior.
He's a junior. So 2 juniors are putting up these numbers. Do you think they're already getting college attention? And if not, do you think they're deserving them?
Yeah, they're definitely getting college attention.
Yeah.
Like, especially as a receiver.
Right.
There's not many receivers in the state that can put up those numbers. So he's definitely getting lots of looks.
And do you think having such a great junior year already, do you think this puts pressure on them their senior year to be even better, just to continue to have that spotlight?
Yeah, definitely. And I think these 2 athletes specifically, I mean, they're showing that they put in the work to put themselves in a position to have these kind of stats. So I think they're just going to be better next year too, which is crazy to think about.
But I could definitely see it too. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's spot on,
like
man.
300 yards per game maybe next year.
Man, if that happens, we might as well just give them a college scholarship right now. I mean, I could see that happening.
Just pick a school, whatever.
Just pick a school, Alabama, Ohio State, whoever. I'm excited to see what they can do, fellas. But guys, we're gonna move on. Up next, we're gonna have we're gonna talk about our games happening tonight and over the weekend on our CAA and the AA report. So don't go away.